Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? Here again, Tasty Talks with another walk and talk. I really hope you guys can join me on this walk and talk because I have a great subject to talk about. I told you, always subjects are going to come to mind, and whatever comes to mind, I'm going to bring it to the channel, and hopefully everyone can learn something and we can move on. So guys, please join me today as we take this walk and journey into another part of another journey as we move along to living our life with true meaning and true purpose. So actually, I want to talk about forgiveness today and why forgiveness came up in my mind. And I remembered part of the journey that as I was going along, how forgiveness became a very, very important part of it, and how it allowed me to understand that there's so many levels to forgiveness, and it isn't just about forgiving those who did you wrong, it's about forgiving yourself as well. So forgiving yourself on this journey is so important, guys, and it's very important that you don't confuse feeling like you have to forgive something somebody else did to you or some other situation that happened that wasn't your fault with forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself is very important for you as you move along because it frees you from so much things. As I was journeying along on this journey and trying to start a new life and move forward with doing things that are purposeful and meaningful, forgiveness came up. And it wasn't about forgiving the situation at hand. It was about forgiving myself. I realized that I blamed myself a lot for so many things that happened. I realized that I kept questioning, like, if I never had just decided this would never have happened. If I was smart enough, I wouldn't have made this bad choice. Then I realized that it was also something that was holding me back, keeping me stagnant, not allowing me to truly take advantage of the blessings. I was not able to do it because I was too upset with myself or angry with myself about the fact that I made the mistakes. It was all my fault. So when I realized that maybe you should try forgiving yourself, because at this point I don't want to stay here. I'm not trying to have these things keep repeatedly going over in my mind. I want to be able to move forward, and that's where being able to forgive myself and press on and move forward, that was the beginning of the next steps of the journey. So that's why I'm talking about it today, because it came up again today as I was thinking about taking the next steps on this journey, and maybe there's somebody else out there that's not understanding what they need to do next or not understanding the next steps that they need to take. Maybe you haven't got to a point where you've even forgiven yourself for things that weren't your fault or mistakes that you think you made as to why a situation didn't work out for you, or it traumatized you, or it took away very important aspects of your journey, however you want to see it, that maybe you haven't forgiven yourself to be able to say, look, I can forgive myself and move forward. Like, whatever I think it is I've done, I have to put it to the side and keep going forward. So that's where forgiveness came up, and that's why I brought up the subject today. I've had this part of my journey, and this has come up for me, and I'm realizing that, wow, those things I don't think about anymore. Those things are not something that are holding me back anymore, because I was able to do this, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy thing for me to be able to do, but I did it because it was more important for me to move forward with my life. It was more important to take those steps into achieving things that I always believed I could have achieved, and becoming the stronger person I always knew I was. And just sitting there blaming myself endlessly for something that I didn't do was not helping either. Maybe at some point this situation was something that you felt was helping you, but no. Honestly, guys, I'm always going to give you advice because these things actually work for me, and I want to hand it over to other people. So if you are stuck at a point in this journey as you're trying to move forward where you're thinking, I made the mistakes, it was my fault, I did this wrong, please, guys, try to forgive yourself. Try to understand that forgiveness is an important part of your journey moving forward, that you can actually say, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm sorry and I forgive you, and now I'm ready to move forward. Honestly, say that to yourself. Don't forget to say that to yourself, and keep saying it to yourself until you know you're truly forgiving yourself and you know you're truly, truly ready to move forward, because that forgiveness has been accepted by you. You're going to realize once you've accepted that forgiveness and you're forgiving yourself, that it's time to start building from the ground up. You'll start realizing how important it is and how important it was that you took those challenges on. And the reason why it's very hard challenges in the beginning when it comes to looking at yourself is because you have to look at yourself, is because you have to face yourself. So it was like unfolding the problem and having to address it and then refold it with all the creases out of it. When I'm looking back at it, I'm really happy with myself that I actually decided to take that on, because I wouldn't be here now saying, oh, hey guys, actually, have you tried forgiving yourself as you're moving forward? Because actually you're going to find out that is something so important to your journey as you go along. Just like finding yourself worthy and unworthy, you have to be able to find yourself worthy and able to take those next steps. So I'm able to give it back to everyone because I went through it. It's hard, but it's every part of it is worth it. Every step that you're taking for yourself, that's going to get you to the next stages in your life. That's going to get you to the point where you're saying, I have so much goodness to give. I believe I can do wonderful and great things, but there's just these things standing in my way and these things are too big for me. No, actually, they're really not that big. But you know what? You will be able to get up and look at yourself after that and be like, I am so glad I took that. And I'm so glad that advice that I had that moment, I decided to look at that and say, oh, wow, so many things unfolded, but I was ready and prepared to iron them all out and make sure I refolded it all again and put it all back into perspective for myself as I'm moving forward. And now everything, I have a full understanding of what I need to do, what I have to do, and what's going to help me get to the next stages. So just remember that, guys, as you're continuing moving forward, don't forget that every step that you take, everything that you take on is important for your journey as you're moving along it. And none of it is going to be like, that was a waste of my time. It will never be, that was a waste of my time. But that's all I got for today. It wasn't that much again because this is another subject that just came up. But hopefully you guys keep joining in, keep being a part of the good work, keep being a part of taking good advice and giving it back and making progress each and every day, no matter how big the steps are, how small they are. Every step that you're going to take towards living your life with true purpose, true meaning, and living to the best that you can possibly live is worth it every day. So join me again on another walk and talk. And I swear I'm going to have something to talk about. I have to have something to talk about. Something always shows up. But wherever you are in the world, night or day, have a wonderful day. And I will see you again on another walk and talk. But guys, bye for now.